Hi, Andy Cottrell from Golden West Real Estate and All About Helena. And picture this, me and you looking for your dream house and you find it. You also have your dream kitchen. What is the first meal that you're gonna cook in that dream kitchen? Well, I have a suggestion. Let's do my famous weekday spaghetti sauce. Some people call it gravy, some people call it sauce. I'm not gonna get involved with that politics. I'm just gonna call it sauce for now. So, let's start with the meatballs. This is another world famous recipe that I have that I'm not gonna tell you about. When we're out looking for houses, I'll tell you about it at that point. But let's look at the ingredients in the spaghetti sauce. We have a sofrito, is what the Italians call it, or mirepoix, which is carrot, onion, celery. These two were grown in our garden. You have garlic, of course. We have oregano grown here, thyme from the store, basil from the store, and parsley from the store. And we also have some Parmesan cheese. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut everything up, get everything mashed up, and we'll assemble it together. So I've mixed all the meatball ingredients, it's ready to go. And what I'm gonna end up doing is when I get my tomato sauce cooking and it gets warm, I'm actually gonna roll the meatballs and let the meatballs cook in the sauce. It's absolutely delicious. Do the carrot first. Oh, gotta tell you something. You get the carrot prepped. This actually gets grated. You don't cut up the carrot in this recipe. Bet you didn't know that. Oh, one other thing. You actually put these in whole and let them cook. Oh, and one other thing. These all go in whole too. You're kind of thinking, what? Are we just gonna eat like whole vegetables and things in my sauce? No, I'll show you what happens. Oh, and one other thing. Yes, the onion does get cut. Does not have to be tiny little pieces. It can be big pieces. My mother always cut big pieces. She always made every Sunday a spaghetti sauce. She called it gravy. And I would eat so much of it that it would put me to sleep. I'd have to go lay down. And we lived in a Cape Cod house, which has 2 bedrooms upstairs and 2 bedrooms downstairs. My bedroom was upstairs, and when I'd eat so much of her spaghetti, I couldn't even get up the stairs. I'd have to go to her room, my parents' room, and lay down. They'd always come and check on me, but now we just gotta do garlic. Ooh, this is fresh garlic out of our garden here in Helena. Easy way to cut garlic. First, get the skin off. And what a guy in Maine taught me, that's where I'm originally from. That's why you're seeing a Bruins hat on my head. He was a chef for Sodexo. I think I said it right. Sodexo, whatever. The back of the knife first to kind of mash the garlic. And again, this is fresh garlic out of our garden. Sadie, what kind of garlic is this? Is this porcelain? And then you can chop it. You don't want to chop it too fine because fresh garlic out of your own garden tends to be extremely potent. Where did that grater go? Ugh. Oh, it's right here. Got it, okay. So to start the tomato sauce, use extra virgin olive oil, oops, I just spilled it. Put it all, cover the bottom of the pan. Do not be afraid. You cannot ingest or use enough olive oil for this particular recipe, so you can come over and take a look at it. Oh yeah, this is rolling. It's rolling. It's olive oil. Got it on just a medium heat is what we start. Then you take, celery goes in, and onion go in to start. Ooh, I can hear it cooking already. It's awesome. So I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon that came from my mother's house and father's house in Maine that she used when I was a child. This is like a 53-year-old wooden spoon. Wooden spoons are great to work with. Why, I don't know. So we're gonna mix this around, put a cover on this, and let that sit for just a second. Now, I've got 2 bottles of wine because you have to use half a bottle for sure. I've got Passata, which is just processed tomatoes, a flavorless sauce that you can use. We actually make our own passata, or we grow our own tomatoes, San Marzanos here, make passata, and then we make the weekday sauce. This is a canned one we did this year. Notice how I'm using a induction burner because when we bought this house, it had no kitchen. We actually had to put the kitchen in. And it was occupied by like 20 meth heads, I'm not even joking. So we got it all cleaned up, and now this is our home, in the little country home, and we do a little farming and things like that. So this has to just stay a little bit low. Then you want to take your basil, oregano, thyme, goes right in. No cutting, no cutting. You do not. If you cut up your spices in your tomato sauce, I will come to your house, enlist it, and sell it under your feet. No cutting. All right, so what these are gonna do is just cook together for a little bit. We take the garlic. Garlic goes in. Oh my God, that smells so good. It reminds me of when my mother used to make it. Now, it's shred carrot time. That goes right in. And what the carrot does is it smooths out the sauce and kills the acid in the tomatoes. The celery is a flavor enhancer as well as the onion. And it's about even proportions. It's good. So you want to make sure and get those onions a little bit translucent. You want all those flavors to sort of blend together for a little while, which they will. Put the cover on, and we just wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit, be patient. Let's come over here and check it out. Oh yeah, so those onions are about ready. That looks good. I'm gonna stir it up a little bit. The celery's starting to get a little bit soft. I got to tell you something in a second. Let me go back to the tomatoes here. So we got 2 jars of passata, and you put the passata in. And eventually this is going to come to a low simmer, and when it gets to the low simmer, you then can put the meatballs in. But you know what? It's a little bit thick. So what are we going to do to thin it out? That's right. We're going to use vino. And this is how I apply it. Want to use a Sauvignon Blanc. I fill about half of one of the Passata bottles. There's a little more than half, I think. With the wine. Cap goes back on. You want to get all those tomatoes out of there. You dump it into, oops. I'll just lick that up later. Now you've got the wine. You've gotten most of the tomatoes. And it goes right in it. The sauce thins it out a little bit, which is really important because you do want it to simmer and reduce. And that gets all, That gets all the flavors together. So I turn the heat up just a little bit. You want to get it to a simmer. And when it starts simmering, then we put the meatballs in. And then when it's done with the meatballs, then you let it, put a hockey game on. You let it cook for a couple hours. And then enjoy it. We're going to make meatballs. But what I was going to say is, when I see people take spaghetti sauce and put it on pasta, you put your pasta in a bowl, sauce. No. What you're going to end up doing is you're going to do it right now. You're going to put a pan down. You're going to put your gravy in the pan. You're going to cook your pasta to about 90%, just so that your teeth gently go through it with no crunch. And as soon as that spaghetti sauce is warm in that pan, you add the pasta to it and you finish it off. So you actually cook the rest of the time with the pasta in the sauce. And then at the end too, I always add a little butter just because, I don't know. Salt and pepper. This is Himalayan salt that I use. And some sort of cheap pepper I got at like Costco or something. I love Costco. I love Costco hot dogs. I don't know why I just said that. I just love hot dogs in general. I know they're probably pretty gross to people. When it's not boiling, or simmering, or really, really hot and the heat's been turned off, especially a tomato sauce, you can then add cheese. I usually add Parmesan cheese at the end. But you don't want to ever put Parmesan cheese in a sauce that's hot because, of course, it will probably congeal and be gross. Probably got 5 minutes, I'll be back. We'll start rolling these meatballs in and I'll show you how that works. I can't tell you how good this smells right now with those fresh spices. and just fresh stuff off our farm. So I'll be back in a sec. It's time for meatballs. Remember when I said you bring the people to the party? Sauce is the party. Meatballs, the exact same thing as pasta. You bring the meatballs, these people, to the party. Now, meatballs are different than pasta people, so we got a variety of people coming to the party. I think it's great, 2023. Remember, wet your hands before you roll meatballs, because then you'll get all that stuff sticky. So you wet them up. My mother used to make meatballs the size of Saturn. I don't. I make them about that big. And they just go right in the sauce. I think the most delicious meatball I ever made was right now. If anybody wants me to come to your new house that I sell you and cook you dinner, I'd be more than happy to do that. That would be your closing gift. Andy comes and makes something, and whether it tastes good or not, that's entirely up to you. But I think it's going to taste great. I think these are going to taste great. So they're going on meatball sandwiches. So these are just going to cook for a couple hours in this sauce, and then you take them out and throw some Parmesan cheese on them, and voila. There you have it. That's the sauce. I'm just having fun. That's what I'm doing. That's what life's about, having fun, cooking, having a little bit of wine, half a bottle of wine. I could actually put a little more wine in there and it can cook. I don't know what we do with the other bottle of wine, do we, Sadie? Yeah. All right. That's perskippity. Wash up the hands. Quick tip. When you put meatballs in, you don't stir them. They're so soft. You roll them like this, because you want to keep moving that sauce while it's a little bit hot so it does not burn on the bottom of this pan. I want to thank my best friends in the world, Dan and Susan, for this pot that they gave me a couple Christmases ago. It's been my favorite pot in the world. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So yeah, we got about a couple hours. I think we probably should pop a bottle of wine, because it's like 6 o'clock. No, it's 4:55, but some hockey's on Sunday afternoon. This is the Sunday weekday sauce. All the meatballs are in. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it's done. It's been about an hour and a half. I didn't go 2 hours this time, but I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash about putting meatballs directly into the sauce without frying them first. And I do recommend, if that's what you like to do, is fry your meatballs. Keeps a lot of moisture in the meatball when it's cooked in the sauce, creates that glaze and all that. What I do, my trick with my meatballs, I soak the breadcrumbs. And I use large breadcrumbs and I soak them in cream. That keeps it moist, and I can just throw the meatball right in. That's the only secret I'm going to give you about the meatballs. I'm going to go back to bringing pasta to the party. When you bring pasta to the party, you take it directly out of the pasta water and put it in. You want pasta water to go into your sauce when you cook up and finish your pasta. This is not a cooking show, so whatever comment you leave, great. We're real estate agents, my wife and I, here in Helena, Montana. We love what we do. We just want to bring this to you and have fun. And always cook with love. All right, so let's see what's going on here. You want to grate some cheese. I got a meatball already ready to go in a bowl. Grate the cheese on. And then I always, for a little freshness, just put a little parsley on. So here we go. Gave one to Sadie, camera person, and that's what it looks like. It's beautiful. And rub it around. Wow. I gotta give you this recipe. This meatball is so delicious. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you liked it, like and subscribe. Sorry. If you hated it, like and subscribe. Just don't leave a comment. Unless it's about houses and hockey. I'm Andy from Golden West Real Estate and all about Helena, Montana. Have an awesome day. So I'm going to bring people to the party. It's the next day. We got some leftover sauce. I've just cooked up some pasta, about 90%, and here we go. Oh yeah. I got this cooking nice and hot. Take this pasta, with the pasta water. Goes right in, little slotted spoon, but lots of water's going in. All that starch water will thicken it up nicely. One more. Oh yeah. And that just needs to cook for a little bit, and the magic ingredient's coming in a second. Look at this. Oh yeah. That pasta is going to finish its cooking in the sauce. Just think how saturated that is going to be. And this is, what do we have here? We have casarecci, which is the type of pasta named after casareccio, which means homemade. Can you say casareccio? Homemade? Say it. Say it with me. Casareccio. Okay, this is done. Now let's plate it. Take that same spoon. Oh, this is going to be a yummy lunch. Ooh, I lost one. It's okay. Beautiful. You can't have casarecci without some parmigiano. Oh yeah. Good deal. A little parsley, add some thyme, and there it is. I brought the people to the party. Oh, I forgot that. The magic ingredient, very special. All right. There's a little butter. And that is going to heat up nice. Okay, magic ingredient included.